Parliament. But for now, though, I want us to cross over to the Senate. Of course, the Senate ICT Committee today is grilling the ICT CS Joe Mucheru. Remember that this is the second time, this is actually the third time that he has been invited to appear before the Senate Committee to answer, of course, to queries with regard to that TV shutdown that happened about a month and a half ago. Let's just listen to that and then we get back to studio.
Just to be clear, I'm not hiding behind a cloak. I am following due process and the law. At the moment when a matter is in court, you cannot discuss it, especially in public. We are on TV, and this is a matter where the judiciary, you've asked us to respect the law. It is very clear. That's one. And number two, it's about national security. And for national security, yes, there are processes that would be used. So what I can assure you is that the government's commitment to freedom of the press, to access to information, is unwavering. It has not changed. And that continues to be the case. So we can be able to have, after the court case, we can have even more detailed discussions on that. But at this stage, it's a national security matter, and it's in court, and therefore we cannot discuss it further.
Again, I appreciate the position you're taking and understand the position you're taking. And I would take the same position if I was the other side of the aisle, so to speak. Yes? You could understand my position. We represent the people of the Republic of Kenya. And they've been clamoring to know the truth of the matter on what happened and what took place and why it happened. So we're determined to get to the bottom of this unfortunate, ugly situation, episode which happened. So as I said, I will refer back and then we will get back to you and to your colleagues, and we'll be inviting you again to try to resolve this issue. It is important that such things never and do not occur again. It does not reflect well on you, does not reflect well on us, does not reflect well on this great country of ours. So we are putting that matter to rest, and now we'll go to the next item, which you had asked yourselves to come. I'd have asked the DG more questions, but unfortunately I think he was indisposed at that particular time. So I'll let it slide today. So we'll now go to the status of the disbursement of the Universal Service Fund for projects to bridge the digital divide in Kenya. I don't know who can guide us through those waters.
Thank you, Chairman. I will take us through the Universal Service Fund, the objectives. In your letter, you asked two questions. One was the status of the disbursement of the Universal Service Fund for projects to bridge the digital divide in Kenya. And the second one was the criteria for awarding contracts for projects under the Universal Service Fund. Before you should be a presentation, which I'm just quickly going to go through. There's also a detailed appendix that you're able to go through. In my presentation, I will cover 5 areas: the objectives of the fund, what we have planned or what the fund has planned for the next 5 years, the implementation, priority projects and the status of the disbursements, projecting how the Universal Service Fund will grow, and the criteria for awarding the projects. Okay. So the first thing is the objectives of the Universal Service Fund is to promote communications infrastructure and service rollout. As you are aware, in our country, we do not have 100% coverage of both voice and broadband services and many of the ICT services required. And many of the areas are not economically viable, and therefore many of the operators and service providers are not necessarily going into those areas. And so the aim of having this fund is to ensure availability of services to people across the country and even to people with disability and vulnerable people. We also want to ensure that we're building capacity and innovation within the country and facilitating the growth of content in the country, whether it is digital or written, so that we can see ICT as a universal service across the whole country. We want to ensure that it's available in schools, in health center, and in all public institutions. So if you go to the planned projects, I will just explain each of them very briefly. And this is slide number 4. So it's a table, this table that we have there. Voice coverage in the country needs to expand to 100%. At the moment, we're at about 98%. So just making sure that mobile phone services are available to every Kenyan across our geography is a key project that we're working on, and therefore expanding that, and I'll explain the projects that we have currently ongoing. Broadband is also a key.
All right, so that's the ICT CS Joe Mucheru, who is currently before the Senate ICT Committee. And of course, the main interest there was really the grilling to do with the TV shutdown. Remember, like a few weeks ago, there was that TV shutdown on 4 major television stations of about 7 days. And therefore, he had been asked twice before to appear before the committee. He didn't, and today's the 3rd time that he did so. We understand that he says that he cannot comment on the matter as it's still before court, and therefore really no much discussion about the TV shutdown. We'll continue to follow up on that developing story here for you.